households are failing because they don't teach their children these fundamentals. They don't have structure in the home. And that's why we're saying you don't truly understand what traditionalism is, because if you understood traditionalism, you would more than likely at least try to be traditional, or learn more about it from somebody who is traditional. And since I've heard you speak up here, it's more so just, you regurgitating what you've seen on TV and Google. And that doesn't tell me that you're somebody that really wants to learn about it. You have to understand, in a family dynamic where people call each other partners, for example, because I did hear you use that word. If you're calling the man that you're married to, your husband, a partner, which is a term essentially from the LGBTQ community, if we're being honest, then what you're saying to your children is that you and your husband are equal to each other, which couldn't be a more false narrative. It's completely false, right? Because we live in a world that was built on the backs of men, and men should be honored for that. Men should be taught to be respected for that. And if you're not teaching these values to your children, you're failing, right? Now, let's say we do have a modern mom and dad in a home and they're raising children. The child goes to the mother and asks the mother, hey, mom, can I have X, Y, and Z? And the mom says no. Well, then the child's going to go and run to the father and look for the answer that he's trying to get. And the father's going to say yes. How are the parents on the same page in this instance? If there's no head of the household, if there's no structure, there's no foundation, how is this beneficial for the children? Will you explain that to me?
So what was that? What did the mum say again? Go ask your dad. What?
If the child, there's a term for this. It's called parent surfing. If the child is parent surfing, meaning they're looking to get the answer that they want instead of the answer that they need as a child, how does this benefit the child?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, if we were taking it into, because what it sounded like was a very common, instance, for example, if I don't understand necessarily the question, but whatever. What I was going to say was, look, if you have two parents, you have a mum and a dad. For example, this happened with me when I was 4. I turn around to my mum, can I have some crayons? She'll say, go and ask your dad. Dad, can I have some crayons? My dad will be, no, because you've had £20 today while we've been out shopping. There you go, that's the answer I needed. Threw a tantrum about it, but it don't matter because I was a spoiled brat anyway.
What I was trying to explain to you is why structure in a home, why there needs to be a leader, right? Why does America have a president, for example? Why do we have leaders for things? I mean, we need structure, and children need to be taught this at an early age. And if they're not being taught this, then it can be detrimental to everything. And they need a foundation is basically what I'm stating. And it doesn't typically come from a modern dynamic. It just doesn't. But I'm done, OD. I'll end there.
Well, if I can respond, I did want to say...
Okay, right. I want to go to that.
Go on, then.
Say what you want to say, is that okay? I want to hear what you want to say.
All right, so I'll start my own live in a few minutes and do that again. But I'll finish off and say, look, just to explain my family dynamic, which I did want to explain for a while. My mum and my dad, the ones I'm biologically related to, are not together. They divorced when I was, how old? 12, 11, 10, around that time. But they are very good friends and still, manage stuff between them because obviously me and my siblings, who were a lot younger than me. My mum's side of the family is Muslim. She remarried. My dad's side of the family, they're all atheist, for example. So I wanted to just clarify that because people seem to get confused with it. I'm a lot closer to my dad than I am my mum, for example, but I'm at my mother's right now, But I'll finish off and say it, is that what I think a lot of people with this ideology have is that, everyone on the panel who, agrees with what's on the board, I think people are ignorant to the fact that some women just don't, it's not needed to be taught to be a wife. It's things you pick up along the way. it's things that are taught to you regardless. You know, if you want to learn how to cook, your mum will teach you how to cook, or your dad will teach you how to cook, or whoever's there who can teach you how to cook will do it. That's what being a parent.
Being a wife and a mother is not about cooking and cleaning, ma'am.
No. I'm explaining my point. And I understand that traditional women, for example, I understand that typically they are kept, and I hate using this because I feel it's so wrong, but, pure, and kind of dainty and submissive to the husband, and who keep themselves well disciplined. I understand I have a basic understanding of what a traditional woman is. And what we all have to accept is that some women don't want to do that. Thank you very much.
And you are wrong. You don't know nothing about a traditional woman because you was never raised as one.
Okay.
You notice how she just leaves because, her ideology, she's not okay with it being challenged. I don't know. It seems like
she couldn't even answer my questions, Mango. Like, what the heck is happening?
I think she hears stuff talk. I put that TV up there for a reason. She watched TV all her life.
Exactly,
okay.
14 Margot, go ahead. That's what they do. That's crazy, all right? You're 19, you don't even know anything, okay? And this is why a lot of these women crash. That's what's going to happen at the end of the day. Mango, go ahead. Dakota, I want to go to Dakota and Ajay. And too much going to say something after you. He's going to go. Mango, say what you want to say quickly. Dakota, hold on. You're next.
Okay. Hi. I just wanted to say that I think being traditional is okay with me. Like, I was raised in a culture where being traditional is good. And I was raised in a home where being a traditional wife is a good thing, and it's something that was praised in my family. And even my grandmother, she would hound me and be like, oh, when are you gonna get married? Or, when are you gonna give me some grandkids? And that's the kind of family that I grew up in. And I prefer a traditional man. I'm a single person. I'm a single woman, and I'm currently dating myself at the moment. So again, I wouldn't expect someone to do something for me that I can't do for myself. So yeah, that's all I gotta say.
How are you a traditional woman and you're dating?
Sorry, who asked me that question? Sorry.
I didn't walk. I wondered because how are you a traditional woman and you're dating?
I don't have a husband yet, so again, that's the reason why I'm dating, to find.
Can I say something quickly?
So,
all right.
I haven't reached that stage in my life yet, unfortunately, where I'm married. But I would like to be married someday at some point in my life, But that's why I'm dating, to find that traditional man. And the only way that I'm going to find that traditional man is if I put myself out there. And if I'm in my house, the guy's not going to turn up to my front door and be like, hey, I'm interested in you. I have to go out there and socialize and put myself out there. They're not going to turn up magically to my front door.
14 Mango, go ahead.
Yeah, but you have to do that in a courting fashion and not a dating fashion. It's all about your technique. Because if you keep on doing this from the technique of a modern woman date outside of marriage. Traditional women court. You have to change your technique. Like Too Much said, dating is for married